Yeah.
There's Jessica Rabbit, the Caramel Bunny,
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a whole
Lola Bunny.
We've got
subgenre.
a tier.
Greetings, movie fans. You're all very welcome to the Big Reviewski with Omniplex Cinemas and my OmniPass. My name is Owen Doherty, and today, this week's episode is brought to you by the letter J. I'm just especially delighted to be welcomed and joined by the very jolly Justine Stafford. Hello, Justine.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. The always jubilant Mr. Paul Moore.
I am full of joy at the moment from
Yeah,
that
you
intro.
certainly are. And the man that just can't stop judging people, it's Rory Cashin.
Okay.
That's pretty
Sorry,
accurate.
okay.
Okay, yeah, that works. Jillo, everybody, how are you?
I've never
Good.
probably had so many
good.
people turn it off now.
Yeah.
No, it's more, like we've got two big reviews this week. It's Joker and Judy.
My name starts with a J,
And
so
your name
I'm,
starts with a J, so it's the triple J.
I'm on
right
board
there.
here, yeah.
So yeah, that was it really.
And
That's all I got.
we've another big J. Yeah, we're having a big look at the Jurassic World.
Of course. So many
Short
J's
film.
in just week's show. That's going to get so annoying. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
No more
If you-
jokes.
It's going to come back, isn't it? Yeah.
Probably. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us your favourite words beginning with J as well.
Is it Sesame Street now?
You can tweet us at Big Reviewski, or you can get in touch on other Joe social platforms.
Joe.
On Instagram. Joe, there it is again.
Ah.
Yeah. On Instagram or Twitter or whatever, Facebook, wherever you're doing that stuff, just get in touch with us. And don't forget to
Subscribe.
subscribe. Yes,
I'm
please.
so happy
Thank
you
you very much.
did, 'cause he was going to say
Subscribe. I'm like,
I was thinking
I'm not having that.
I have it in my head now. Everything is just like put the J in place. Yeah.
Silent J. So we have, now it's time for this week's big question. And last week we had J-Lo, again, trying on the thing. But this week it's all about the Japanese because at the weekend there, unfortunately, it was a weird mixture of a weekend because Japan basically stunned the world of rugby whenever they beat Ireland in the Rugby World Cup. We're going to go live now to our Rugby World Cup correspondent, Mr. Rory Cashin, who's got the full report.
What sport?
Go on.
He's still in that big J, isn't he?
Yeah.
Japan won,
Yeah.
They did.
and Ireland were not happy about it. And it's like I always say, goals win games, and they didn't get enough goals.
Well, there aren't really any
Well,
goals
Matt,
in
goals
rugby.
And that's why they didn't win.
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
And they didn't get any fair points either.
Personal goals, yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel if they played together, they would all do
Too
so
many
much
individuals
better.
on the
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah.
What's
that's a
all
good
this
shout,
about?
yeah.
You know?
Teamwork.
Well,
Somewhere Baz and Andrew on how to
I
win.
know, yeah,
Watching this right now.
Yeah, you guys really talk the talk. It was that weird thing where the longer the game went on, everyone kind of Ireland are going to come back and win this. This is easy because, but obviously that's not what happened. But the strange thing was that so many people, even in Ireland, were like started rooting for the Japanese as well. No, even Andrew Trimble.
I would not be one of them.
No, but he was saying himself. He was like, you were like, come on, the Japanese can actually do this because it was actually a wonderful sporting underdog.
Screw that. I want to win.
Yeah, but you're hardcore and competitive and really ruthless, so
that's true.
so that makes sense.
I think if they'd beaten not Ireland, you'd be like, oh, yeah, good for
but
you.
that's what was so strange because normally we're the ones who are being the underdogs and getting in there and getting like the
Ireland?
remark. Yeah,
In rugby.
not necessarily in rugby, but just on the world stage for stuff as well.
Yeah.
Nice. But in this particular scenario, it was weird to be on the receiving end of the overdog. What were we, the overdogs? I don't know what it is.
The big dogs.
The
Why
big
don't we
dogs?
just
were the
focus
big
it
dogs.
onto cinema?
Basically, so for this week's big question, inspired by the Japanese victory over Ireland, I wanted to know
Yay.
what are the favourite, everyone's favourite sporting underdog movies, because there are gazillions of them out there. So a huge amount. Oh,
Justine,
Yeah.
you know the way one of your favourite things to do is to not completely. Which dog did you actually pick?
Does the underdog die.com.
Is it Airbud, the ultimate underdog?
Surprisingly, I didn't do that this week for once.
Okay, well,
which is
I'm looking
impressive.
forward to
Okay.
it, but since it
Yeah.
sounds.
Well, as
Question.
a working example, the answer that I went for the film, I was torn between two.
As
But
always.
But then I opted for a third, and then went back to the first
And I'm
one.
going to name all 4.
I'm going to name all of them. No, the one that I went for was from 1994.
Oh.
And it was...
What was...
Cool Runnings!
I was going to pick that. I'm so glad I didn't know because
So,
it would have been like...
It felt like a wee bit of a predictable one. But then at the same time, I was like...
You have
It's
to
such
have
a
it.
class film. It has to be in
But
its
between
own
all 4 of us, if
Absolutely.
none of us mentioned Cool Runnings, I would be disappointed.
Absolutely.
We should set up a Big Reviewski bobsleigh team.
We should.
Well, we've as
We
many...
really should.
We've as much
Two of
access
us are on board
to...
anyway.
There's as much access to bobsledding here as there is in
Yeah.
the Caribbean, so why not?
Yeah, so obviously the story of the Jamaican national bobsleigh team. True
Sorry, the word-
True story, yeah.
The letter J is just coming up too frequently.
course.
It's again like,
I
what?
gent it. No, that doesn't work. Anyway, so yeah, I think this was, from reading up on it there, it's John Candy's last film that was released.
Every J now, I'm like, oh my God, it's
Oh my God,
everywhere.
it's like a conspiracy. They're like the Illuminati or like get it. But it's and he's actually got one of the best character names because I forgot his character name. He's called Irv Blitzer,
Beautiful.
which is
That's
a fantastic
a strong name.
A really
Irv
strong
Blitzer
name
is a porn name.
as well. Like
has to
for
be.
sure.
Almost as good
Irv Blitzer.
Irv, that's
Yeah.
porn.
Almost as good as Yul Brenner in the film as well.
Yeah, so one of the 4 guys is called Yul Brenner. That's him at the back there as well. So the 3 other guys, you have Darius, Sanka, and Junior. And the 4 of them come together, as you said, Paul, like it's based on this true story of the Jamaican national bobsleigh team, where they were kind of the laughingstock because they didn't have any of the resources. And the film kind of plays on that as well. And if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, they don't win gold at the Olympics, but it does have one
win
of the
respect.
best. They win, the hearts and minds of everybody who's there, including, and this is how you know it's kind of, it's like pre the Berlin Wall coming down. It's when the bad guys they're not just Germans in the films, they're East Germans.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? They're really, really nasty guys in it. But they, whenever they have that slow clap at the end, one of the best slow claps
The
ever.
father's there in the line.
I know.
Junior's
reveal
father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the moment that I picked out from it is whenever Junior, Yul is giving Junior this particular motivational speech in the mirror, and I'm not even going to attempt to do it.
I think that's safer.
It's safer if I don't. But whenever do you know what? We'll just let them. Will we let them do it, or will I do it? I've got it written
For the
down.
sake of bleeping.
Okay, here we go. This is the motivational speech from Cool Runnings.
Now look in the mirror and tell me what you see.
I see Junior.
You see Junior. Well, you want to know what I see? I see pride. I see power. I see a badass mother who don't take no crap of nobody.
You really see all that?
Yeah, man. But it's not about what I see. It's about what you see. Now look in this mirror and tell me again what you see.
Well, I see
Pride.
pride. Right.
Power.
Power. And I see
A badass mother who
who
don't
won't take no crap off of nobody.
Again.
I see pride.
Can't hear you.
I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody.
Once again.
I see pride.
Junior.
I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody.
That's right.
Right. Junior Bevel.
Everyone feeling suitably pumped and motivated.
That is
Yeah.
a perfect Sunday film. If it's on,
It
you
is.
just don't turn it off.
Yeah. No, it's super. Do you want to know the other one I was going to go for? No, because one of you might have picked it.
Showgirls, we know.
exactly.
No, no, it was Showgirls.
Tell us at the
Yeah,
end.
real underdog movie.
Yeah, it's a
Go
sports
get him,
film.
Tiger.
Yeah,
No, Rory, what did you go for then?
Goon.
Good show.
Remember
Sean
Goon?
William Scott?
With Sean William Scott, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I can't really remember if his team is an underdog team or not, but I feel like he is an
He's an
underdog
underdog
person
human.
because he's more like he's a really kind of he's like an adorable puppy of a man, but he can also like knock your teeth out with a single punch. So he doesn't want to fight, but it turns out that's like the best thing he's
so good at it.
He's good at, and he's like when he gets into fights in the field and stuff, everyone's like wailing on him, and he has to look over at his manager, and his manager's like fight back, and then he does, and then gets in trouble. But yeah, it's really funny, really, really funny film.
It's really underrated.
No one, the film itself is an underdog. Double meaning.
Oh, my head.
Yeah, so he was great in it. I think he himself is actually kind of underrated because he was in,
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
what was it, Welcome to the Jungle, he was really good in. And even though the film was terrible, Southland Tales, he was really good in. So I would like a little Shaw William Scott revival. I'd be on board for that.
He said he'd go back and play
100%.
Stifler again. He said that
What's
this
he?
week, yeah.
What's he doing these days? Like, where is he? What's he at?
I think he's doing some like not good serial killer like American TV show thing.
Okay.
I think
He's probably great in it as well. Because the thing
Yeah.
that
he's
I
probably
love
great in it.
about Goon is that he's playing it for laughs, but he's playing a straight character. Like, you know, it's like a dramatic perforance from
Remind
him.
me of, did you ever see Paul Newman's Slapshot, the old hockey film? It's kind
No.
of on that, that's
Similar
really good,
kind
kind
of
of on that similar bum vibe, but
Yeah.
like still just like completely dead level and straight.
And he still is responsible for one of the greatest cameos of all time in Old School. When
Yes.
he's the animal handler
Oh,
yeah.
the
at
mullet
the
stuff,
birthday
yeah.
party. And whenever Will Ferrell shoots himself in the neck
That's
with
a tranquilizer
in the
gun.
jugular. Yes! It's incredibly funny. But yeah, so that's not the clip we have here. We do have...
No. So this is just one of the many fights that he gets himself into. I think we had to bleep it a bit, and not because of Sean, because the other guy, Sean's real placid about it. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight you guys, but
Such a nice
he
guy.
gets drawn into it. And I think who was his mate in this? Jay Baruchel.
Oh, yeah.
I think did he direct it as well?
Oh,
I think so.
holy moly.
Or wrote it. He definitely did something else. But like, yeah, real underdog movie. Highly recommended if you've never seen it. But stay away from the sequel. It's terrible. So now,
Okay, sweet. I didn't even know there was a sequel.
yeah, it was
I think
really
it was
bad.
straight
Oh,
to DVD,
God.
yeah.
Go, skate. Go, glass, don't deviate. Exactly like I said. What are you doing? Come on, Matt. Get hit off.
While everybody was enjoying that brilliant clip from Goon, you're right. The way he keeps looking over at the manager is like, no, will I go and fight
No,
this guy?
okay.
No, okay, I'll just wait. We were all being treated to a beautiful rendition of Justine's take on the Venga Boys.
Yeah, with a little what I call freestyle, where I incorporate the word goon instead of
Paraphrasing.
boom. Yeah,
It
so
was.
I mean,
It didn't start with a J, so I'm happy about that.
You're welcome.
There's bound to be somebody out there called the Jenga Boys who are just really good
Oh
at Jenga.
my God!
They're,
If there
like, phenomenal.
isn't, they're missing out.
So we're setting up the Jenga
Jenga
Boys.
Boys.
and
Pretty
we're-
good.
Yeah.
Listen, if I keep pretty much saying every other word beginning with J, I'm bound to stumble
I'm
across
bound.
one. I'm bound to stumble across.
You're embracing that cool
one.
running speech
my
there,
God.
yeah?
Can't talk today. Justine, what did you go for?
So I went for a 1996 film. Okay.
Was my other? No, the other one.
See, that's it. When you pick
No.
Cool Runnings, I'm kind of thinking, was he potentially going to pick the one I picked then? Well, I went for film, and much like last week, whereby I saw Hustlers and then I took up pole dancing. When I saw this film, I took up basketball. Okay.
It was Air Bud.
I was thinking Airbud. Yeah.
No, the film I went for was Space Jam.
Space Jam.
You guys, so
Michael Jordan.
I actually can't. This is too
I
much.
hate that I said this show was brought to everybody by the letter J. Sesame Street is so annoying.
It's really irritating.
Yeah, and it's just like this is one of the first films I just remember. I always think back to seeing like
Did your
as a
dad take you to
kid.
this one as well?
No, he's come to one film and he fell asleep and we never brought him
That was
again.
it.
He's
still
in
there.
the yeah. And
Seats are pretty comfortable.
they are. But I just loved this film so much, whereby Michael Jordan just announces his retirement, and then these gang of bad aliens come and they're going to basically hold the Looney Tunes captive, and they enlist, like as you do, to be like, okay, look, why don't we have a basketball match, and whoever wins, we can either go free or you can have us, which is how we settle all.
Yeah, yeah.
All big life decisions,
Yeah,
really.
it's a good way to do it.
So they're like, okay, well, we kind of need Michael Jordan if we stand a chance here. So, I mean, he just retired. So what an inconvenience. So they kidnap him. So
And Bill Murray for some reason.
yeah.
Well, he's Bill Murray.
So I just love this film. And anytime I think of it, I just always think of that scene where the arm just extends out. And that was the clip I was going to use. And the link was really bad quality on YouTube. So went for a picture instead.
Use your
We'll
imagination.
reenact it, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
There you go.
That was
There
really
you go.
good.
Yeah. But I remember like fancying the cartoons in this, like Taz, the Tasmanian Devil. I really fancied.
Wasn't
Tasmanian Devil was your favourite.
Wasn't Lola Bunny in this?
Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah,
Pretty
she
hot.
was. Yeah.
There's Jessica Rabbit, the Caramel Bunny,
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a whole
Lola Bunny,
We've got
subgenre.
a tier.
and then every character in the Robin Hood animated movie.
I think Herb Blitzer was in some of those films as well. There's an
He was
amazing
definitely in
bit.
something.
Yeah. There's an amazing bit in, is it Wayne's World? Whenever Garth's saying to Wayne, he's like, hey, did you ever, like, were you ever really attracted to Bugs Bunny when she dressed
Oh my
up?
God,
He's
yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, me
No,
neither.
me neither. But yeah, Lola Bunny, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's definitely in it.
Yeah. And I remember then I would only buy the Tasmanian chocolate bars instead of the Freddo bars and everything. I was like, no, I just want Taz.
You were in love with them.
Yeah, and I have so many
And you wanted
T-shirts
to
as a
consume
kid.
him.
I did.
Okay.
In chocolate form.
Okay.
I was a kid, come on. And
Okay.
all my T-shirts were like, I had pajamas, Tasmanian Devil.
Holy moly.
Yeah. All from
Well, I guess that's enough of that.
Taz wants nothing to do with me. He's like,
We're shutting
No,
this show down.
The people behind the show are like, this
Sorry.
is getting too
No,
erotic.
no.
We have to take this
Too
off.
much.
yeah. So I mean, that's my answer. For this
Great
week.
answer,
Yeah.
definitely.
Solid one.
And sequel, is it sequel or remake?
Sequel.
Sequel, yeah.
Cheekers, all right, sequel boys.
When it comes to
Sequel.
Space Jam, you have to be right, all right? You have to be accurate.
Who we got in that one?
We've got LeBron James.
And hopefully Lola Bunny and Tasmanian Devil as well.
Produced by Ryan Coogler, Black Panther.
So that's some good people involved there. Happy days. So looking forward to that.
Yes.
Hopefully. Okay. Last but not least, Paul. What sporting underdog movie did you go for?
I went for...
It can't be a Bose story.
Oh, it's not. Although I am wearing the
You are
colours.
in the black and red.
I went for what I deem as a perfect entertainment square, in that it's a great film, great TV show, great book, and a great soundtrack to the film.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Which is
Showgirls isn't a book.
Could you imagine? A pop-up
I've got a
book.
pop-up.
I'd buy it. Put it away, put it away.
Sticky.
Which is
Oh my God.
Friday Night Lights. Which the book by Buzz Bissinger is amazing.
What's his name?
Buzz Bissinger.
That's a
He's one
porn
of
star.
Herb Blitzer's friends.
That's a porn name.
The film which Peter Berg made is great. The TV show is somehow even better than the film, and the soundtrack, which is mostly done by Explosions in the Sky and a few others, is
wow.
fantastic as well.
Something to admit. I haven't seen the film or the TV series.
I've seen the film. The film is
Yeah.
good.
So which came first?
The
book.
book first,
Thanks, guys.
then the movie, then the TV show. Well,
The
soundtrack,
songs are all
obviously, yeah.
based, inspired. Yeah.
Explosions in the sky.
But it's not really about. Obviously, American football is the main theme of it, but it's not really predominantly concerned about it. It's about what it's like living in those kind of goldfish Texas towns when football is like a religion, and what it does to like young kids who are only teenagers and they're like elevated to this godlike status, and the insane pressure is on them. It's really dramatic in a sense that like there's kids who live for football. Some of them get injured. Some of them have these incredibly high, levels they have to reach. One of them's a father who's like a legend, and he hates his son because he's not a good footballer, which is intense stuff. And it's like drilled in them from an early age that winning is everything. Winning is everything. But it's kind of like there's a great speech in it from Billy Bob Thornton when they're in a match, and it's like, well, the difference between winning and losing isn't so much what there is a scoreboard, it's how the world perceives you and how you perceive yourself. But it's just a really, really good drama. And I know, Rory, you're a big sporting fan. Did you even like the film?
I did. I sure did.
We go live to sports correspondent.
Yeah. No, it's really is good. It's no Space Jam.
It's no space. Yeah.
I related more to Space Jam. There's not a lot of Lola Bunny in Friday Night Lights. Which I
For you in
found.
this
There isn't
one,
a TV show. Lola Bunny somehow is parachuted in there. But Friday Night Lights, this speech with Coach Gary Gaines speaking to the Permian Panthers in the Texas State Final as they come to terms with a hard first half.
Oi.
To me, being perfect is not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship to yourself and your family and your friends. Being perfect is about being able to look your friends in the eye and know that you didn't let them down because you told them the truth. And that truth is that you did everything that you could. There wasn't one more thing that you could have done. Can you live in that moment as best you can with clear eyes and love in your heart? With joy in your heart. If you can do that, gentlemen, then you're perfect. I want you to take a moment and I want you to look each other in the eyes.
I love those halftime speeches.
We do that too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. What
every
everybody
day.
doesn't know, there's always just a wee break.
Yeah.
And whose turn is it actually for this week's motivational speech?
I think it's yours, Justine.
Yeah.
The
'cause
J week.
It's J
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, always. So before we get to that, thanks for your one, Paul. And yeah, if you want to let us know what your favourite sporting underdog movies or movie moments are. So what do we have? Space Jam, Cool Runnings, Goon, and Friday Night Lights.
You can tell us now.
Yes, it was Mighty Ducks.
Ah,
course it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Mine was
Ducks.
almost Moneyball.
That's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's an interesting one. Oh, that's an interesting one. All right, yeah.
All right.
Okay, cool. Moving swiftly onwards. Now it's time for the big trailer on the Big Reviewski. And Roy, for this week, you've also got something that's slightly different, slightly interesting. haven't you?
A little bit of a change from the norm. So it's not a trailer.
Okay.
It's a.
But you didn't understand the question, the feature?
It's-
What's it?
it was, yeah.
Just pick a trailer. That's all you had to do.
No.
Okay.
No, I figured that like it deserved a bit of attention, and that considering it's not a trailer, there's no like easy slot for it to fit in. So this is where
This is where it's
this is
going.
where it's
now.
going.
This is where it lives now.
So we're still a year and a half more until Jurassic World 3 arrives, but they have
With
The original gang.
with the three originals, so you've got
Laura
Sam,
Dern.
Jeff Goldblum.
Laura, and Jeff. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they all look fantastic.
Phenomenal.
I don't know. They must be in their own little like thing that the mosquitoes
Amber
in. Thank
thing,
you,
yeah.
because they're maintaining well.
Gotcha.
And the scientist as well, who was in the original Jurassic
Henry
Park,
Wu.
is the bad guy in the new series as well.
That's right.
He hasn't aged either.
Well, they all look great. Yeah. So with that in mind, and I think, do you know what? We'll go to the clip because it's Battle at Big Rock, which is an 8.5 minute long short that takes place apparently 1 year after the events of Fallen Kingdom, and it is apparently the first like big interaction between humans and the now on the loose dinosaurs. There's a very young child in huge amounts of peril, which I
You love.
all for.
You love that.
for it, because I like I was saying, kids need to be traumatized more.
And you're a horrible
in
human
and
being.
by movies,
Yeah.
and it's just a bit with a. I'm assuming 1 or 2 year old is just like tied into a chair as the dinosaur is slowly making its way towards him.
It's an unbelievable shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Because
whole
the
sequence,
whole-
I was like, it is a bit like, oh, it's just a bit from The Lost World.
Yeah.
But with kids about to be eaten. It's great. Filmed in Ireland, in the Powers Court,
So this is the thing. Whenever
not the shopping centre.
It's like, what?
whenever Fallen Kingdom was released, we had Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. No. Yes.
And Jeff Goldblum. But I think what Rory talked to was Rocket Man. I think it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right. So Bryce Dallas Howard was doing more press for Rocket Man, and you asked her specifically
I was like,
about some of the
I'd
film.
heard that Jurassic World 3 was being filmed here, and she said No. So technically
was really-
she didn't lie.
But if you
Yeah.
watch it, she's really bad at lying.
Yeah, but she didn't really lie because this isn't Jurassic World 3, really.
True.
This is,
I think Rory said there was film and said it. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say no.
I'm not saying no.
But I'm not
Yeah.
saying yes
She
or
was
no.
like, but I wasn't there. And she clearly wasn't because she's not in this.
But it looks brilliant in terms
looks-
of,
it looks-
as you said, filmed down in Powers Court.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be, I don't know, like the Californian forest or this family, American family out camping.
Yeah, it's like 20 miles from the biggest state where Fallen Kingdom took place, where they
Yeah.
all like bolted out. Yeah, and it's like the first big interaction between humans and dinosaurs in the wild, and directed by Colin Trevorrow, who did the first Jurassic World but didn't do Fallen Kingdom. And yeah, I think it's really interesting because this is I've got pros and cons here. This is like the Jurassic film I think we'd all been waiting to see for a while. It's like, oh, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs are everywhere now. It's taken 6 films, but they're everywhere now.
So let's take our family camping.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, that's
a
safe.
good idea.
That's fine. But also, how many? From what I understand, there's only one of every one of them because there was only one being sold.
Yeah.
Oh, at
here's
the time in the
here's
auction,
one
yeah.
T-Rex. Here's one Velociraptor. Here's one of that weird new T-Rex Velociraptor.
Indominus Rex,
Yes.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So how is their baby ones?
How are
If
they
they've only made
reproducing?
one.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way. This is the thing, yeah.
Okay, I guess.
What's that from again? Rings a bell. What was the thing in the original Jurassic Park? Was it that they were all
They use
male,
reptile genes, and
but
reptiles
they
are
all female,
Yeah.
but then some of them kind of changed.
yeah, reptile
their-
genes,
But there
frog
was-
genes can reproduce.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
asexual or something like that.
But there was multiples of them.
So they were able to reproduce together. As
Yeah,
opposed to
but
this one.
whereas in this one, there's one of that. This is the only one of this in the world. But now they're running around and multiplying.
Well, I guess we're going to find out.
I mean, I'm excited to find
Yeah.
out. But like, that's the other thing is that like at the end of this, if you've seen the, you wouldn't call them bloopers,
the
like the
credits,
stuff that's during
yeah.
the credits where
They're
you
like
see
little-
them everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all that stuff. I was like, that's great.
Yeah, it's as you said. It's a thing you've been waiting to see. Where instead of this convoluted kind of plot, it's like no, it's the magic of these dinosaurs impacting on our everyday life, and everybody just trying to figure out what the heck is going on here.
I said it when Fallen Kingdoms out. They should do the next one and just have the dinosaurs run their muck and just tear apart everything. But
Yeah.
they won't make an 18 horror film. But ripping
No.
apart little kids,
But, like,
they'll be
this-
great.
But there was a lot to love about this. Like,
Yes.
even the way it like it looks, like effects wise, and again, like kudos to all the Irish production team who worked on this because they use loads of local talent as well, and you can see that in the credits at the end. So
lot of
congratulations to
animatronics,
everybody. Yeah, but like.
and he's making the third one, Trevorrow. He's coming back to do the third one.
Yeah, but even like the by the light of the campfire, like everything just looks so threatening. There's danger, and as you said, the bit with when the camper falls over and the baby is still strapped in, and it's like it's proper peril.
Yeah.
The big dinosaur attacking like the baby, you're like, oh, okay, that's happening now.
And hopefully it's a cool way for people to market films as opposed to like trailers. There's a generic way.
Yeah.
Like a little mini film in between. That'd be a really cool idea to just keep franchises ticking
Yeah.
over.
Nice way to move the plot on.
Like, I'd
as
be
well.
happy for
Yeah.
them not to have another Jurassic World trailer until it comes out now because that does the trick, you know?
Yeah,
It sets
that's
it up
excellent.
nicely, but it does. I always remember, like, out of all 5 of them now, that my singular least favorite part of all of them was when Jeff Goldblum's daughter gymnastic kicks a
yeah.
Velociraptor out the window.
That's
Do you
right.
remember that?
Yeah.
And it's not quite as bad as that, but when the little girl is like bow and arrow the T-Rex thing away, I was like, it's very close to the gymnastic kick out the window. It has all the great stuff that I was like, oh yes, that's why I love Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But it also has 1 or 2 bits where you're like,
Right.
oh,
Okay.
yeah,
I didn't
forgot.
dislike that as much. I thought that was a nice callback.
I thought it was going to be the neighbor who owned the bow and arrow, and I was like, okay, so humanity's coming together to protect each other. Then was
Bet
like, no, she's a perfect bow and arrowist.
It's badass kid.
Bet you weren't even happy when Timmy got electrocuted on the fence. Bet you thought that was sad. That was a great
That
moment.
was no.
The other one
Yeah.
got sneezed on. Lots
I
of
did
peril.
enjoy Dinosaur Snot. I do enjoy a bit of that. Yeah, definitely. So Battle at Big Rock, you can check it out. It's the full 8.5 minute short is up on Joe, so you can go and check that out there. And so next year, or a year and a half?
2021, June 2021.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
I'm looking forward to it. Look, there's all those little bits. There she's being chased by those.
Another child's being chased by dinosaurs.
What's not to like?
Not to like. Okay, now from one J to another J, the first of our big reviews this week. One of the most highly anticipated films of the year. Rory, you've actually written your review up of this. It's up on the site. I've managed to avoid it. As I said before, I don't read any of your work. It's a life choice that I've made.
He also doesn't listen while I'm talking.
No, not at all. So while I cover my ears, would you like to do your review of Joker?
Sure. Well, I'll do the little plot first. So it is Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, A. Fleck, Ben Affleck.
Oh my goodness!
Right?
Stop.
Laird.
Wow.
Hint lasagna.
He is he's a mentally unwell man who's suffering from a series of undiagnosed issues, and he has a part-time job as a clown that's like just hired for whatever, like sick kids or people's parties or store openings or whatever. And it's set in 1980s Gotham, but it's quite clearly New York. And he is he's trying to do his best by his mother, who's kind of an old frail lady, and she's totally obsessed with Thomas Wayne, who you will know is someone famous, his father.
Yeah.
And he's also obsessed with Robert De Niro's late night TV talk show host, because he sees himself as a comedian and he thinks he belongs on there with him. So he's all these like grand ideas about himself, but because of his own personal afflictions, he has a tough time making any of them come true. Plus, the combination of there's a weird kind of elitist war happening in Gotham, where the rich are getting richer and more powerful, and the people who are poorer feel themselves being shoved further and further down, and the whole city is like a powder keg waiting to go off, and all they need is one person to fight back, and then everyone's going to fight back. And it does seem like Arthur Fleck is going to be the guy just to drop that match.
Okay, let's take a little look at Arthur Fleck in action. This is Joker.
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Sorry.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you. This is the last time we'll be meeting.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
This looks hilarious. Yeah.
Jokes galore.
So we had the first trailer, possibly the second one as well, featured as our big trailer a few months back on the Big Reviewski. One of the best trailers we've seen in a long, long time. But is this one of the best films you've seen?
I think it's the best film I've seen this year so far.
Rory Hustler's cashing. What's going on here?
No, it's been a tough 2 weeks for me coming to terms with saying that out loud. But I also never, ever, ever want to watch it again. It reminded me in that way of Requiem for a Dream, where I was like, that was great.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
Ever again.
Yeah.
Like after watching this, I felt like I needed a chemical shower and just the world's longest hug.
Oh, not at the same time.
Phoenix is phenomenal in this. Just so good. Like if he doesn't win the Oscar, it just does not make any sense.
Really? Like that?
Like it's just so like it's so good, and it's so weird because you're watching him, and there's scenes like where he finally builds up the courage to do a set at a comedy club, and I wanted to tear my own skin off because I was like, this is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen, and then because that's like almost not that it's an everyday occurrence, but it's relatively humdrum compared to the directions that you know the film is going in. So then later on, when things like go through the roof, like that's the base level of the emotions you'll be feeling. And then later on, when stuff starts to kick off, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go now. But at the same time, like Todd Phillips, who people mostly know from The Hangover or Old School or Due Date, he co-wrote and directed this, and he's really done something odd and brilliant in it. In that, like, Phoenix's character is not a good guy, and he can't be the good guy because he keeps doing like progressively terrible things. Like his neighbor Zazie Beetz, like when he sees her for the very first time, he's kind of acts odd with her, and then immediately just starts following her around. But in his mind, he thinks it's like a romantic thing to do, and the film presents it that way, and you're like, I know this isn't right, and the film is making like him out to be the lesser of every other evil that's happening in the city, just because he's like a kind of sad, lonely guy who doesn't know how to act around people. So you feel sympathy for him, even as he's doing terrible things. And I was watching, I was like, I don't like how this film is making me feel at all. Yeah. Like every aspect of it was like really garnering like an emotional reaction out of me. De Niro's fantastic. It's the best thing he's been since Silver Linings Playbook.
Dirty Grandpa. Yeah. No, I was wondering about the rest of them, because obviously all the hype is built around Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, and then I remember even at the start when I was like, people were like, is that Robert De Niro in there as well? And then Zazie Beetz, and is it
Mark Maron's
in there. He's not in it much at all. And then the guy who I forgot his name now, who plays Thomas Wayne, he's really good. That was meant to be Alec Baldwin, but I think people were like, I think that might be too close to just him being Trump. So let's just let's just come back, because in this he's super rich and he wants to clean up the city, so he wants to become a mayor. But he's actually part of the problem in Gotham at the time. So it's weird that you're on the Joker's side. Yeah. When you know, after what is it, 80 years of supporting Batman. So that's great. It's the same person who did the score for HBO's Chernobyl.
Oh, that was great.
So I think they just won the Emmy for that as well.
I think so. Yeah. It's fantastic as well. There's a lot about it to be impressed by. But I'm never ever watching it again. Even watching the trailer now, I'm like,
you're like, ugh. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, I am. But equally, Requiem for a Dream, I watched that once, and I'm still haunted by like, oh no, I don't want to revisit that again or think about that. So definitely, that's what's going to happen with me. Equally because I don't know, just because I love comedy, and I'm just terrified about this film. Seeing someone.
Well, you do stand up as well.
Yeah, so that I'm intrigued to see that scene.
Yeah,
and that'll surely just be like, oh yeah, that was me every night.
You're going to see a lot of yourself in this.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What about you, Paul?
No, really interested. I love the fact that...
No, are you going to do stand-up?
Oh, me? No. If you want to see a room empty real quickly, yeah, why not? No, I love the fact that everything I've heard is they've mentioned the king of comedy, because Scorsese is producing it, and that's one of my favourite Scorsese films. It's so underrated. And it's such a subtle kind of satire. And genuinely, Phoenix is one of those actors I would watch in anything from like Buffalo Soldiers to Her to like Gladiator and all the Master. I don't think there's always something very interesting about his performances. Her is more of a romantic comedy, but I would really reluctantly classify it as that because he's so good in it. Yeah. It's such a very strange one. But like he always brings something different to it, and like even looking at his facial contortions there. Yeah. Like he's charming smile, and then he just like on a dime just switches to like psychotic. So I'm really interested just for a character piece. Never mind take away all the comic book stuff. I'm just curious to see what he does with it. You know. Yeah,
as you said, that ability that he has to just change in a split second, and again, just purely going on the trailers, having not seen the film yet. There's a couple of moments I think he's getting ready for one of his clown gigs, and he's just buttoning up his shirt, and he's walking along practicing his laugh. And then he just stops and just but the camera stays on him. Because you said like a lot of credit obviously has to go to Todd Phillips for co-writing it and then directing it as well, in terms of just making you feel that uncomfortable while you're watching. It does help that you've got one of the greatest actors kind of portraying your lead character as well. But,
and the fact is like the character is maybe the most famous villain in fiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everybody has got that embedded already, that you have a perception of what Joker is going to be like.
And I hope DC kind of go down this route because I really like Shazam and like their stuff. Just not everything has to be connected. You can do these kind of different standalone, very tonally different films that are like Shazam is so different to this, which is different to Aquaman. You know, hopefully it does really well. I have a feeling it will. It's got really good critical acclaim. So yeah, keep doing some different stuff. You know.
Yeah, in terms of the usual crack of, like we've been blessed already with Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, Cesar Romero. All the previous kind of iterations
Mark
of Joker. Mark Hamill as well, of course, doing the voice for the animated series. So it's just like another brilliant Joker to add to the mix. Like, has anyone ever done like a bad? I'm sure there's some. Oh
yeah.
I actually forgot about that one. I just completely forgot about Suicide Squad.
Okay, I think we all did.
Yeah.
It's best doing that.
Yeah. But obviously this is up there with the best of them.
It is, yeah, it is. But like, I can't imagine this ever being successfully connected to, like, say, Robert Pattinson's Batman movie. It doesn't make any sense.
Like in the same kind of world or universe.
Like, if they made a Batman movie of this mentality, it would have to, like, I can't make sense of it in my head. Like, it's just, it works for this, and they do some really interesting psychological insights into why the Joker might become the Joker. And it was, especially like 10 minutes from the end, I was like, oh, right. But like, if you did have a Batman, it's a lot of like, why are you wearing leather? Why are you into bats? Like, it'll have to go deep into
the psychology
as much into
of
Batman as it would into the Joker. And so like, it wouldn't be.
Nolan kind of
it
did
just
that
wouldn't be very
well in
fun.
Batman Begins as well. You kind of understood where the fear came from. So yeah, it wouldn't be.
Why the leather though?
Why not?
All right.
Yeah, I know.
At least there wasn't nipples this time. That's all.
That's
And
true.
a cod piece. Yeah.
This is true. So, Jeekers, Joker, right. So, out in cinemas this week. You don't even need our recommendation to go and see it, but by all accounts, do go and see it anyway. Yes, cannot wait to see that film. And going from one broken person who just wants to make everybody around them happy to another. It's Joker to Judy. Rory.
No.
So this is I don't know if it's focusing on a certain part of Judy Garland's life, portrayed by Renée Zellweger here.
Yeah.
But because she looks the part anyway.
She does, yeah. It is set, I think, pretty much in the last year and a half of her career.
In Gotham.
She's trying to make ends meet in the States, and she has to like leave her kids with her ex-husband, one of her ex-husbands, because she can't afford to even pay rent anymore. And she's offered a gig in London where she'd be performing at the same hotel pretty much every night for a couple of months, and she's going to get a lot of money, and then she can afford to go back and take her kids
like
back.
The original Celine Dion from. Do you know what I mean? Like one of those residencies where they're.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, except in London. Yeah.
Except in London.
Or
Not
Showgirls.
Celine Dion.
Residents.
Or Showgirls.
He always comes back.
So this is all about like that last big blowout of her career, and it keeps going back and forth between kind of present day in the film Judy and the history of her, of how she became the Judy that everyone knows that she is. So you see her with who's that really? Is it Louis Mayer? Who's that really famous early Hollywood producer? Do you remember he did everything?
Oh, Louis B. Mayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interacting with him while they're making Wizard of Oz, and he comes across this huge bully. And then her own mother as well is just not a nice lady towards her. And how, over the series of a couple of failed marriages, she's just become this kind of broken woman who has a lot of love but doesn't really know where to put it. And
She is like Arthur Fleck, basically.
a little bit, yeah. And she has an immense talent, but it's after her, I think, tracheotomy. So she can't quite do what she used to be able to do anymore. But she's still trying. She needs that money because she loves her kids. So that's what this is about.
Okay, so
I'm gonna cry.
Oh no, you got a sad face. Yeah. Oh, are you okay? Anybody? Right, we'll get Rory some tissues. But first, take a look at Renée Zellweger as Judy Garland in Judy.
Are you going to be all right?
What if I can't do it again?
Mama? Mama, are you there?
Somewhere
You need to take better care of yourself. You understand?
over the rainbow. Everybody has their troubles. And I've had mine. I just want what everybody wants. I just seem to have a harder time getting it.
Do you take anything for depression?
4 husbands. Didn't work. There's a land that I...
You won't forget me, will you?
In a land. Promise you won't.
So the thing with biopics, whatever you want to call them, whatever you
Biopics.
Biopics, the correct term.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Biopics. Yeah, whether they do that whole lifespan thing or pick out like a couple of key moments from her life, and then the next thing is like, if it is a musician, sure, of course, Joaquin Phoenix did it as Johnny Cash as well, and Walk the Line. You know, is it them performing themselves? Renée Zellweger would have that musical pass with Chicago anyway. I don't. Does she do her own singing in this?
She does, yeah, but she does like post tracheotomy
Right. Okay.
singing. So she sings and she holds the note, but you know it's not Judy at her finest.
Well, is it, I don't
So
know if
that
anybody's
kind of
going
lends
to
itself to that kind of
strain.
grating,
Yeah.
not grating, but like, yeah, it like while she's singing, you can see she's like it's
Yeah.
not going well inside
Well, that's
for
good.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would describe this as Renée giving a 10 out of 10 performance in a 5 or 6 out of 10
Oh,
film.
right. Okay.
She's phenomenal in it, and again, she probably will get an Oscar talk for it because she is really, really good in it. Everything around it is just a bit like biopic by numbers. There's some lovely individual scenes. There's one where, again, just in one of the nights where she's like, I've no friends and no one over here in London with me, and she leaves the theatre where she's performed, and there's 2 fans outside, and they're a lovely gay couple, and they're like, do you want to come over for drinks? And she just goes back to their house and has a sing-song like in their house, and they end up talking about how she's become like a bit of an icon for the LGBTQ community, and it's this lovely like individual scene. You're like, oh,
Give me more
of
that. Place.
that.
Yeah.
And there's 2 or 3 more kind of scenes like that spaced throughout the film that are really, really good. And I'm not gonna lie, I did cry.
Well, that was going to be my next question, because these types of films are always pulling on your heartstrings. Of course, it's the end of her career. Everyone knows the name Judy Garland, regardless of how much you know about her. But you know, the power of that one song, "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," was just like, every time I hear that, it just like breaks my heart. But the fact, you know, they're like, here's this, you're away from your kids, you're on your own, you have no friends, and you're pretty much dying to the end of your career, and here's "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," and you're like, no! Wah! But was it just like that combination of like, yeah, you've got me?
Yeah, like I spoke to some other people who went to see it, and they said there was like 2 or
What did you think of that film?
There was 2 or 3 throughout the film that got them. But for me, there was one scene in particular, and I was like, there's no way anyone is going to make it through that scene without cracking, because it is, everything about it is just a perfect storm of you cry no. So yeah, it's like that again. It's one of those scenes where it's like, yes, I could see what the perfect vision of this film could have been. But having said that, she's great. I would recommend seeing it just to see how great she is in it. And it's good, but it's just not like, it's best actress, but not best picture.
Gotcha. What about, and Jessie Buckley, Irish actors in there
Oh
as well?
yeah, I forgot she was in there. Yeah, she's good. She's kind of a bit of a whiny assistant,
Right.
who always has to like get her dressed and get her out on stage. She's not really given a whole lot to do, but even with the small amount she is, you're like, well, you're still great even in this.
Yeah.
And Michael Gambon is the owner of the theatre that she performs in, and he's again not given a lot to do, but is really good doing the amount that he has. But it's her film. Like there's no second guessing that like everything has been put on Renée and her performance, and I think that was a clever move. But it does suffer sometimes when you're like, if we just focused a little bit on literally anything else, this could have been great.
Yeah. So I presume most people will be going to see Joker this week anyway. But I'd say there'll be a lot of people heading who like have that kind of fond memory of Judy Garland as well, like kind of growing up and everything. So maybe the Hustlers crowd will be going along to that one then anyway.
I can envision my mum going.
The Hustlers crowd.
Yeah, I can envision my mum going and by accident going into the Joker just 'cause she just gets mixed up in places, and halfway through being like, this isn't.
And you began with Jay. When did this happen? What butter for that is this?
Judy Garland had a very sad life.
Does Joaquin Phoenix sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow at any point?
I don't want to give anything away.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
You didn't cry at it, did you?
At Joker?
Joker, yeah.
No, not like crying, no, but I did leave much sadder than I than when I went in.
So we've got Joker and Judy both out this week, so do go check them out in your local Omniplex cinema. And now, speaking of Omniplex, we do have tickets to give away. So if you want to be in with the chance of winning those tickets, all you have to do is get the correct answer to this week's High Clue. It's one of the biggest reactions we've had to any competition before. Now, usually, actually, one of the biggest ones earlier this year was Avengers, obviously, huge amount of fans, but it was fierce competition for the Joker premiere tickets, which have all been given out now. So if you won them, congratulations. If not, take your oil.
Yeah, more competition.
We will have more competitions
like right now.
But some of our winners. Congratulations to Stephen Morris, Connor Finn, and Danny Masterson, who were among our winners. So they'll all be heading to see the Joker at one of its early preview screenings this week. So congratulations to you. So you'll just spot people walking around town. They'll be the ones who are emotional, broken wrecks, basically, having just seen the film. Okay. Yeah.
Either that or Judy, yeah.
Or they're probably wearing clown makeup or
seen
something.
my stand-up.
Any gigs to plug or anything? Yeah. Are you sure we could? No? Okay. So congratulations to everybody who got the correct answer from last week. So we take a quick look at it. It's Sully finds his tribe. Alien is full of grace. Green girl gets the blues. And in the middle line there, Alien is full of grace. Grace had a capital G as well. So the answer to this one was?
Avatar?
It was Avatar.
That makes it sound like it's no longer Avatar.
It was Avatar, but no, it's Javatar. Yeah, like it's always hard to know whenever people do put up the correct answers online and stuff, or one person gets it, and then you wonder, is everybody just copying?
Yeah.
Because there was one person, they were like, Avatar, 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 Avatar. Then one person was like, Guardians of the Galaxy. Shit, no, Avatar. And you're like, okay, got it.
We should have some dud accounts where we like say fake answers and then people start randomly copying that answer.
Like planted in there?
Yeah.
And just see who
fatal deviation, see if anyone.
But that's like whenever you were in school and you used to copy, or somebody used to copy your homework and you didn't, but you both make the same mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
like,
the teacher knows. They're like, gotcha.
Copy my homework, but don't make it obvious. And you made it obvious.
So, so last week's High Clue was Avatar. The solution to that one, the explanation, Sully finds his tribe. Sam Worthington plays Jake Sully. So just his name, Sully. It wasn't Sully Tom Hanks and it wasn't Sully John Goodman from Monsters, Inc.
Yeah.
Finds his tribe. Basically, he realizes humans are crap. The Na'vi are way better, the big blue boys. So basically, he finds his tribe. So he goes along with them.
In the script, big blue ones.
The second line, Alien is full of grace, was a reference to Sigourney Weaver's character in it, the doctor, the scientist. Her name is Grace in it, and she is an alien because obviously she becomes her avatar as well, but also a reference to Ellen Ripley because she was the star of Alien as well.
Was she?
She was. Rory Cash, you need to watch Alien and Aliens for the first time. And the final line, Green Girl gets the blues. One of the most famous Green Girls in cinema is Zoe Saldana as Gamora. And in this one, she's not green, no. She gets the blues as she plays Neytiri, one of the Na'vi tribe as well. Plus Green Girl, because she's kind of environmentally friendly and she gets the blues and she gets sad because like they blow up a couple of big massive trees as well. Like so.
That one big tree.
That one huge on Dorset Street. Yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone, man.
Yeah.
So yes, Avatar was the correct answer for that one. So congratulations to everybody for this week's High Clue. What?
It was like the very localized Dublin listeners who were like, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that Dorset Street joke.
No, loads of GA fans will know the big
Another
tree as
sports
well.
reference.
Yeah.
So many sports references. Welcome to the big sports.
I don't like what Baz and Andrew have done to you.
Okay,
I don't care for it.
Okay, so we need a syllable check on this one. It's confidential veil. Frosty Ken is out of sight. Napier's cuckoo. That one again is. It sounds like I'm reading out the things that like activate the Winter Soldier or something. It's like confidential veil. Frosty Ken is out of sight. Napier's cuckoo. And for everybody who's listening, the first line, confidential veil. Veil is spelled with a capital V-A-L-E. Confidential veil.
Yeah.
Frosty Ken is out of sight. Ken has a capital K there as well. And the final line, Napier's cuckoo. Napier is N-A-P-I-E-R apostrophe S. Cuckoo, like the bird. I don't know what noise a cuckoo makes.
Cuckoo.
Is it like, cuckoo? Oh, that's it. Cuckoo.
Like the clock.
Cuckoo.
Or the bird.
Which came first? The book. So that is this. Thanks, guys. That is this week's How Clue. Yes, we do have some Omniplex tickets up for grabs as well. And coming soon on next week's show, not one Will Smith, but two Will Smiths, not in person. He'll just be on the screen. It's Gemini Man, brand new release as well.
What's the plural of Will Smith?
Smith-I.
Will-I.
Will-I Smith-I.
Will-I Smith-I. Will-I not.
Smith-I?
So we will have a sneak peek at Gemini Man coming up as well.
Full-ass review.
A full, not just a sneak peek.
Not
we'll let
half-ass
you
review,
peer
full-ass.
behind the curtain as well. Anything else? Sorry, do you want to plug stand-up gig?
No, just because we were talking about the Joker and stand-up, and then we were talking.
I know, but like, I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you next week. No.
We come to the end of the show.
We have come to the end of the show. Everyone say, jai jai. No? Paul liked it.
That doesn't mean a lot.
Okay, please. Please subscribe to the show and we'll see you next week.
What's next week's letter?
Letter, yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's a number.
Oh. A colour.
I guess everybody else just have to.
Gemini, it's going to be a horoscope.
He plays Agent J in Men in Black.
It all comes back.
Boom.
Someone must have cleaned that.